guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be talking about law of attraction and how it has impacted my life so far. So first and foremost, this does not conflict, law of attraction does not conflict with my beliefs, with me being a Christian. Honestly, I also believe that the Bible is another form of law of attraction. That is a more advanced video for law of attraction, so I just wanted to talk about beginner friendly type of law of attraction and how it's impacted my life so far. I honestly believe that you are put in this bubble. I'll say you have been put in like this bubble right here, and God created this bubble, right? This is my beliefs. God created this bubble and he put all of these energies in here, and he created people, he created the circle of life, he created all of that, right? And then it's almost like he put the lid on, right? And now he's just watching over you to see if you have the power, which everyone has the ability. If you have the power, or if you develop the ability to use your powers with the energies and the circle of life, everything that he created in this world, if you can figure out how to manifest those things and use them to your advantage. So this is my belief. I believe God created all of these energies and vibrations, and he also created the mind and the brain and how all that works. And it's up to us. It's up to us to determine how we want to use those things. They're tools, energies, vibrations, how the universe works. They're tools that you can use to manifest the life that you want. So with me saying that, I practice law of attraction. I use the energies that God created here on earth to my advantage. I use vision boards. I use words. If you look back to my childhood, I was just a very artsy, visionary type of person. I always had to write everything down. I always had to draw it out. If I saw something, I had to draw it. I was just always that visionary person. So when it came to practicing law of attraction, it actually came very natural for me. Like, it wasn't something that I was like, oh my God, I have to do this. It came very natural to me. So law of attraction is when you use the energies that God created on earth and you use them to your advantage, and you use affirmations. If you've ever noticed, whenever I say, or whenever I speak about the future that I want or things that I want in life, I always say, one day I will have. You will never catch me saying, oh, I wish I could have, or that would be so nice or so cool to have. I always say, one day I will have. It's almost like you have to say, well, you know, one day I will have it. I will have it, no doubt. And honestly, when it comes to law of attraction, it really starts with your brain. It starts with the way that you think, and that carries into how you talk, how you speak. And when you change your mind and you change the way that you talk, the way that you speak, it's going to also change how you view things, your vision. And so when I first started law of attraction, I started changing the way that I thought. I'm like, you know what? When I dropped out of college, I wrote down everything that I wanted to achieve from walking away, because I knew I was making a life-changing decision, and I didn't want to look back and say, I'm going to regret this. I wanted to look forward and say, I'm doing what's best for me. So, and if you know my story, then you know what I'm referring to. So me walking away from my full ride scholarship due to a knee injury, I didn't want to regret it. Until this day, it was the best decision I ever made for myself. And it was because I made that decision work for me. And I made it work for me because I practiced law of attraction. Before I went into my coach's office and said, I'm not coming back, I'm not having the knee surgery, the second knee surgery. I literally walked into my purpose by making that decision. And then before I went into the office, I wrote down everything that I wanted to accomplish from walking away and making this life-changing decision. Everything that I wrote on that list came true. I wanted to work 2 jobs. I wanted to buy a car. I wanted my own apartment. And I was very detailed when it came to the type of car that I wanted. And all of those things I got. Everything on the list I received. And that was my first time ever practicing law of attraction and seeing it manifest. And it actually happened. Like, it was just like, oh my gosh. I'll never forget when I moved into my first apartment and I found the little raggedy piece of paper where I had wrote everything down that I wanted. And I looked up and I almost just wanted to cry, because I'm just like, Kiana, everything on this list you have. Everything that you wrote down, you have. So the next step to practicing law of attraction, you can't just write it down and walk away. You have to write it down and you have to work towards it physically. You have to vision it. You have to work towards it. Another thing that I practiced with law of attraction was my weight loss. My weight loss was something that was very important to me. And so that was another thing that I wrote down on that piece of paper when I was in college, was in my dorm room, was I wanted to be healthy and I wanted to lose weight. I wanted to be healthy and active again. That was like my biggest thing. And I'm getting back to that. And this law of attraction has really changed my life. It does not replace God in any way. It's just, like I said, it's me using the tools that he left behind on earth to my advantage. Also, being a listener to his word by understanding or listening to the whispers of the wind of when something's not right or I shouldn't be doing this. And honestly, just trying to live a positive life. I'm not out here doing things that I shouldn't be doing. I'm not out here doing things that I know isn't right. It's not about being perfect. It's about just being a decent human being. And yes, I do fall short when it comes to following his word to a T, but for the most part, I am a good person. You know, just being a decent human being, being a good person, and how that can change your life. So another thing that I practiced was creating the person that I wanted to be. I wanted to be this confident, creative business owner, boss. So one thing that I did was I got this huge vision board and I wrote down every single thing that I wanted to be. Everything from characteristics to personality to my business goals to how many followers I needed on Instagram to reach my business goals. Everything I wrote down. The thing with law of attraction, you have to be very detailed. Like, you can't leave anything out. If you want this particular thing, I mean, if you want a color white and you want it to be this tall and you want it to be this size, you need to put that down on that piece of paper. Don't leave anything out. And that is how law of attraction works. You are literally taking energies from the universe and you're saying, you know what, I'm gonna use this and I'm gonna use this and I'm gonna manifest what I want for myself. And that is how law of attraction works. You practice it every day. When I wake up in the morning, the first thing that I see, my vision board. And then I also have my focus wall. I call it a focus wall because sometimes when you do your day-to-day life stuff, you lose focus and you lose sight. And that's why it's so important to hang up these things and not just fold them up and put them in a binder. You need to hang them up so that you're never losing focus on what you're trying to do, what you're trying to achieve. So I have my vision board But then I also have my focus wall. My focus wall is really trying to narrow down everything that I want to focus at this particular point in time, but then also having future goals that I want to achieve. So right now on my focus wall, I am trying to improve my credit. I'm trying to save money. I'm trying to get to 200 pounds. I'm trying to reach a certain number of subscribers on YouTube. I'm trying to reach a certain number of followers on Instagram, because these are things that are going to help me improve my business. So this is my focus wall currently. I'm sure I have some other things on there. At one point I put a guy on my focus wall. He was a guy that I was trying to get rid of because I knew he wasn't good for me. I knew he was a toxic person that I just did not need in my life. And so he ended up being on my focus wall, because with him in the picture, I was losing focus and losing sight of what I needed to achieve. So he had to go on the focus wall of not speaking to, not dealing with anymore. And I currently don't talk or speak to this person. The universe has a way of using your focus wall and your vision board and your words of affirmation in your favor. So if you're trying to get rid of someone and maybe they're just toxic as hell, put them on your focus wall. I don't want to make this too long, because these are just simple things that you could do. Create a focus wall. A focus wall is going to also include your daily routine. So if you want to wake up every day at 6 a.m., put that on your focus wall. If you want to meditate every day at 10 a.m., put that on your focus wall, so that you will see yourself gravitating towards that routine on the daily. And your focus wall is going to change over time. Honestly, if there's something new that you want to add on a Tuesday, add it to your focus wall. But also create a vision board. And a vision board is more so for the future. The vision board is more so for things that you want to achieve over time. But your focus wall is going to be your daily things, your daily routine, daily things that you want to achieve, you want to work on every single day. It could be weight loss. It could be reading a book. It could be listening to audio. It could be making a YouTube video. It could be making a painting, a drawing, doing a particular hobby, developing a new habit. It could be anything. Your focus wall is what you will do on a daily. The focus wall idea was something that I created. I remember at one point my focus wall, I took a picture of a girl who was just smiling. Like, she was just cheesy. If you are a ride or die Yanie Red supporter, then you should remember this girl, because I used to put her on my Snapchat. I showed her on my Snapchat at one point, and she was just cheesy. She was just like so happy. And now I am that girl. I am that girl that was on the wall that was just cheesing with bliss. And now people see this spark or this light in me. It's not because of a man. It's not because of a love or romantic situation. It's everything to do with the fact that I at one point put that girl on my wall, and I was like, I want to be her. I didn't want to be her physically. I just wanted to be that smile. I wanted my smile to match her smile. Something as simple as a smile. Something as simple as happiness. I put on my focus wall, and I wanted to be that on a daily. I hope this encourages you to create your focus wall, create your vision board, create a piece of paper as well of everything that you want to achieve in your life as of right now. Fold it up, tuck it away somewhere, and then make sure you create your focus wall. That's like your daily routine, things that you want to accomplish on the daily or weekly. And then create your vision board. This will be more future stuff, like buying a house, buying the car that you always wanted, just things that you see yourself doing when you reach a certain age, things like that. And also affirmations. Let me get into that. So I kind of spoke about it earlier in this video, like how you speak to yourself is so huge. And people think that I'm crazy. I talk to myself all the time. I will have a full blown out conversation with myself, because guess what? My inner voice does not sound like the outer voice that I project to you guys. It sounds completely different. And then it's like, well, damn, my voice inside my head don't sound the same when I project outward into the universe. So that tells me you have to speak to yourself, because your inner being is completely different from your outer being. People don't know who you are in here, and that's why there's people out here walking around who are depressed, who don't know who they are, who feel lost. It's because they don't have a connection with their inner being. And the only way you're going to develop that connection, you have to talk to yourself. You have to encourage yourself. Sometimes when I'm in the gym and I'm running my sprints and I just feel like giving up, I repeat to myself, I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. And sometimes when I'm running, I'll just say, all things, Kiana, all things, Kiana, and I'll repeat it over and over and over again. It has created a habit in me to be consistent. Me simply repeating that saying to myself over and over and over again has helped me stay consistent, even when I felt like quitting. So it's so important that you speak to yourself in a positive light. Encourage yourself. Be that positive voice for yourself. Don't depend on anyone to do this shit for you. Do it for yourself. And that is something that I do on a daily. Every day I talk to myself. I make sure I'm good. You good, Kiana? You good, girl? I talk to myself. Seriously. So my inner being, my voice in my inner self is completely different than the voice for my outer self. The voice that I project to you guys is completely different. And the voice that you have in your inner being and the voice that you project is completely different from the voice that you project to your friends, your family. So make sure you're using word of affirmations and make sure you're using wording to where you're more optimistic. So like I said in the beginning of this video, I say things like, one day I will have. You'll never catch me saying I wish. I don't wish, hun. I know I'm a habit. I'm a habit. And some people call that being cocky or overconfident, but it's really not. It's really not. It's really speaking things into existence. I think that covers everything for law of attraction for beginners. So get out here, create the life that you want. Create that focus wall, create that vision board, and start talking to yourself. If you have any law of attraction success stories, I want to read them. Comment down below. Share your law of attraction story. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!